Hello, 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 and welcome to French Dip Empire. I am the Empress, and today we are talking about the so-called wedding of the century, the marriage of Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos and his blushing bride, Lauren Sanchez. And they had a multi-day affair, as you may already be aware, in Italy, a star-studded affair, although I'll let you decide how impressed you are by the star-studdedness. It was a bit of a mixed bag. Some high-powered corporate exec billionaire types and some entertainment celebrities. Some Kardashian Jenner type celebrities. So if you call that entertainment, I'll let you also make that decision if you find how entertaining and in what way you find those kind of people entertaining. But anyway, we will be taking a look back at the guests and the outfits, for better or worse. I was amused to discover. Here, let me go over to. Here we go. There's the lovely couple down in the lower left-hand corner, Jeff and Lauren, and there is, same wedding dress, but there she is on the right as well on the cover of Vogue magazine. Quite an achievement. And we will, in addition to looking at the guests and the ceremonies, we will be taking a look at some of the criticisms. Was there a little sour grapes of people maybe not being invited? Who knows? And we will also take a look at the extensive coverage in Vogue magazine, where they discuss the wedding dress, the wedding celebrations, and the happy couple. And if you are listening/watching to this live, it is the 1st of July, 2025, and right now it is just a little after 4 p.m. in New York City, where the Diddy trial is still going. The jury is still deliberating, as far as I know, going into something like their 12th or 13th hour. So if you are interested in that, I have one eye on the camera set up outside the courthouse, the court building, and if a verdict comes through, have no fear. We will let you know what happens on that. So anyway, back to the actual subject of this broadcast. It's the Bezos wedding, and so this is. I feel like this episode should be subtitled Behind the Paywall, because most of the Vogue coverage is paywalled online, but here we have it. And this is one of a handful of articles that they've published online. Excuse me. This is from June 27th, just a few days ago. Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos are married. See inside her final wedding dress fitting. And an interesting collection of people worked on this article. Chloe Mall, the author, is the daughter of Candice Bergen, the actress, and Louis Mall, the French director. He's no longer with us, but anyway. And Tabitha Simmons, she's the stylist, still married to Topper Mortimer, as far as I can recall, Tinsley's old husband, ex-husband, from many years ago. So always nice to see the sort of Nepo baby type situation that goes on in the credits of the magazines. So not that Tabitha's, I guess she doesn't count as a Nepo baby. I guess she married a Nepo baby, Topper being a Mortimer. So, okay, let's get on with the article. The dress, much maligned, much criticized, but awfully modest considering the other outfits that were on display at the wedding, both Lauren's and some of the other guests. I did mention the Kardashians. Okay, so the caption here, it's been a wild ride, but it's incredible, Lauren Sanchez Bezos says, seen her here in her Dolce & Gabbana lace wedding dress, photographed outside Milan. Okay, well, on June 9th, so wearing the dress I hope Jeff didn't see before the wedding ceremonies. That would be bad luck, wouldn't it? Okay, so on with the article. The bride is corseted, you didn't have to tell me, and cosseted in her high-necked, hand-appliqued Italian lace wedding dress on the grounds of an 18th century brick villa outside of Milan. I'm gonna cry, says the soon-to-be Lauren Sanchez Bezos. I'm gonna be a mess on the day, but the best kind of mess. A hot mess, I imagine she would think. I don't think she was a mess. She was very, very tightly put together. Not messy at all. Okay, back to the article. Today is a shoot for Vogue. How self-referential. The day before, Sanchez and Bezos were at the Dolce & Gabbana atelier in central Milan for their final fittings. In a few weeks and 170 miles away, they will marry in front of some 200 family and friends in Venice. It was more powerful than I thought, Sanchez says, of yesterday's fitting. Bezos begged to see the dress. I almost gave in, she admits, but I want it to be a surprise. Oh, well, there you go. It was a surprise. As you get a little older, not many things surprise you. I can't wait to see his face. How cute. Okay, that's not her. She is now posing, hands on hips, and leaning forward, Fellini-esque in the mermaid line gown, framed by an alley of cypress poplars. I feel like a princess, she says. You look like a princess, an eager chorus of onlookers. Oh, goodness. Glam team, seamstresses, production crew. Parry's back. Wait, Parry's or parrots? Okay. A team of Dolce tailors dressed in crisp white work coats with black crochet Peter Pan collars and grosgrain ribbon belts unfolds a tulle and lace veil with the precision of surgeons. When a winged ant gets caught in the delicate fabric, a frenzied of hushed, urgent Italian ensues before the ant is carefully, gingerly dislodged. What an odd little detail. Ugh, it's kind of creepy. A winged ant on your wedding day. Well, I guess it's not the wedding day. At your wedding fitting. Seems like something of a bad omen. I don't know. Amityville Horror-esque. The flies accumulating on the window or what have you. Okay, back to the article. Oh, and here's another lovely photo of the bride in her. This guy looks like a doctor. A fashion doctor, I suppose. The caption says, final fittings. I'm a different person than I was 5 years ago. No doubt, says Sanchez Bezos, here with a team of tailors from Dolce & Gabbana. Oh, and there's the little black lace collar, I suppose, over here on the ladies. It looks oddly clerical, some kind of, like they're like altar boys or something like that. Okay, back to the article text. Although I love the bookcases back here. That's nice. The veil is applied to Sanchez's head like a crown, well, fitting for a princess. A man on a scooter tootles past the property line, and a momentary panic sets in. The location has been chosen to avoid any chance of Milanese paparazzi. Was the man wearing a GoPro? No, the Italian shoot producer assures everyone. That was just a maize farmer headed to the neighboring property. No GoPro. All right. The Bezos-Sanchez nuptials have stirred up a kind of mania. Okay. Yes, definitely in the media. Major news organizations have filed on-the-ground reports and published robust write-arounds, including at least one dispatch delightfully titled, Jeff in Venice. Ah, I get it. A play on death in Venice. How clever. Tabloids have breathlessly covered all things bride and wedding, including the extravagant Parisian bachelorette party. The attention has had an edge of judgment, if not outright criticism. Oh, well, we're going to get to the outright criticism in just a little while. And protests have erupted in Venice over Bezos' wealth and expectations that the event will overwhelm the city. Rocket Illustrated signs read, "No space for Bezos." Ah, because he did the little space thing with his wife and Katy Perry and Gayle King. Gayle, who was at the wedding with her best friend Oprah, and Katy, who was not there, but her now ex Orlando Bloom was. There you go. When a couple breaks up, it's always a matter of who gets custody of the friends. Although I thought there was one of the articles said something about Lauren posting something on social media in praise of Katie, or maybe it was the other way around. But I'm guessing that they are all still friends. It's just one of those things. Okay, so continuing with the article, yet the wedding is extremely intimate. Sanchez tells me, yes, it was very intimate. 200 friends and family, the paparazzi, all the people who have to work the event, the security, the wedding planners, the caterers, the florists, everybody who has to drive all the trucks and the taxi, the water taxi pilots, etc. It was very intimate. It was very intimate. Okay, of the 200 guests, some 70 are family. Can you imagine being like a random family member of either of these two, not like one of the really close family members who gets to enjoy the whole billionaire celebrity milieu, and then, you're just like little Aunt Mildred from Iowa, and then you're sitting next to Kim Kardashian with her, bosom spilling out of her brassiere. I'm sure that was a trip for all involved. To be a winged fly on the wall there. Okay, continuing. She wants to do a very classic and elegant wedding, says Stefano Gabbana when I reach him by phone in Milan. She didn't want to do something very flashing or bling bling. Well, okay. Might have failed on that end. I think it was very flashy and bling bling, and it seemed quite by design. Okay, continuing. This will be the second marriage for both Bezos and Sanchez, who have 7 children between them. 7 children. It's like Sound of Music. Famously, I wonder if they all they got together and performed the So Long, Farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, Good Night. That would have been a lovely way to end the wedding, the reception, would it not? Okay. Maybe that would have been too flashing or bling bling. Okay, famously, the two were engaged in May of 2023. Actually, I don't know why I thought Lauren was married 3 times, because she has her son. I thought she had her son with someone other than the guy she was married to before Jeff. Or maybe they weren't, legally married, or maybe I'm confusing. Let me see. I'm actually fact-checking on my own. Yeah, I guess she wasn't. Oh, she has 3 children. I don't know why I thought she only had the one son. I think I'm mistaking. Oh yes, her elder son, with Tony Gonzalez, who was there. I thought he was her first husband. Okay, they weren't actually married. She has 2 children with her actual first ex-husband. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay. Famously, the two, Bezos and Sanchez, were engaged in May of 2023 on their 3-masted, 417-foot sailing yacht, Koru. Its name a Maori symbol for new beginnings. Sanchez is wearing the cushion-cut pink engagement diamond she found under her pillow on Koru, but she won't at the ceremony. She will, however, wear the Dolce & Gabbana Alta Gioielleria Miracolo, easy for me to say, earrings, 4 diamonds cut from a single stone and inlaid in white gold, which arrived by armored van for the shoot. Not flashing or bling-bling at all. And which have a guard standing ominously on a nearby hillock. Ooh, like a sniper. Ooh, scary. We don't have a lot of traditions that we're keeping, she explains. I mean, I love traditions, but for a 55-year-old woman, it's a little different. Well, I would imagine so. Oh, here, I'm going back to my... I have to take one moment and pull up the Diddy watch again, which I made go away so I could check up on Lauren's baby daddy status. Okay, back to the article. There are, however, a few conventions that will be honored, including the one about the groom not seeing the bride before the wedding day. Also, the Dolce earrings will be her something borrowed. Her something blue? Well, Blue Origin. Ugh, yeah, that's cheesy. Sanchez says, It's something from my space flight. She explained she carried a secret souvenir up in the rocket so she could bring it back for Bezos, because it was literally one of the most profound experiences I've ever had in my life. Seeing Earth from space, I came down and I couldn't describe it. It was the greatest experience I've ever had. Jeff said, "It's going to change you more than you think," and it completely has, visually, spiritually. Okay. That 11-minute journey to the Kármán line, the delineation between Earth's atmosphere and outer space, changed her thinking about the dress. She shifted away from the modern strapless silhouette she tends to favor for red carpets toward a more timeless and referential idea based on the high-necked lace wedding dress Sophia Loren wore to marry Cary Grant in the 1958 film Houseboat. Okay, so the spiritual experience that she had going up into almost space was that she should change the style of her wedding dress? Nothing like, I had second thoughts about the idea of the soul or God or our place in the universe. No, I need to redesign my wedding dress. Well, okay. Inspiration comes wherever you find it, I suppose. Continuing. It went from, I want a simple, sexy, modern dress, to, I want something that evokes a moment and where I am right now. I am a different person than I was 5 years ago, she says. It's kind of a mantra. I'm a different person than I was 5 years ago. I think we all are. Okay, continuing. She touches her phone face down on the table. Its case is covered in charms, a rocket, a lipstick, a purse, affixed with Gorilla Glue by the 12-year-old daughter of designer Stacy Bendit Eisner, Michael Eisner's daughter-in-law, and of course the famous designer, who has one of the highest voices. I was shocked. I hadn't heard her speak, and then I heard her speak, Stacy, and I was shocked at her high little girl voice. She didn't look on the surface, I didn't think she would have such an incredibly high voice, but she seems to do. Okay, so that's Stacy's a friend of Lauren's. I went into a lot of therapy, and it's changed me in a bunch of ways, but it's really Jeff. She pauses. Jeff hasn't changed me. Jeff has revealed me. I feel safe. I feel seen. He lets me be me. Like I said about Sophia Loren being unapologetically free, he lets me be unapologetically free. Well, she's unapologetically free to be her and me and you and me. She should write a book. Well, that's that's a look. That's a picture. That's a look. Okay, open white button down, no bra, and giant underpants. Interesting. Okay, so this says light and easy. Indeed. Jeff hasn't changed me. Right, it's the same thing. Yes, that's the Dolce & Gabbana tuxedo shirt, similar to the one Bezos would be wearing at the ceremony. Well, how lovely. There you go. He wore his tucked in and buttoned completely. As we'll see, I guess, in a moment. Continuing the article, Sanchez began planning the dress a year and a half ago. Wow. While at dinner at Domenico Dolce's New York City condo overlooking the Hudson River. The couple had met the Italian designers a few summers before when both parties had yachts anchored in Portofino. Dolce's boyfriend, Guy Siqueira. Guy? I think that must be Guy, right? Gooey. I think Gooey sounds funnier, though. Let's call him Guy Siqueira. Had met Sanchez once at Nobu, Malibu, with mutual friend Kris Jenner. One captain radioed the other, and a drink date was set. Then, over gin and tonics, the group chatted until midnight, becoming fast and easy friends. It felt natural to ask them to design her wedding dress, Sanchez says. And where did Sophia Loren come in? I researched pictures of brides in the 1950s, she says. I wanted to reflect back, and I saw Sophia Loren, and her hands were like this. She imitates a prayer position, and she was in high lace up to the neck, and I said, that's it. That's the dress. Sanchez claims it will be the first formal dress she's ever worn that is so covered up across the chest. I believe it. It is a departure from what people expect, she says, from what I expect, but it's very much me. Will Bezos be surprised? She dips her head in an emphatic nod. Yes, I think he will be pleasantly surprised. I think he's going to be so happy. I mean, it's so elegant. It's timeless. For the wedding dinner, she will change into a sweetheart neck, corseted gown inspired by the Rita Hayworth film Gilda. And for the party afterwards, a cocktail dress by Oscar de la Renta featuring 600 yards of hand-sewn chain and 175,000 crystals. Amazing. Imagine sewing chain, metal chain, like chain mail. Was she dressed like a like a knight, a very glittery knight? Well, bling bling. This is, I'm sorry, 175,000 crystals. That's bling bling. That's blingy. Okay. After the shoot, Sanchez and I sit on wrought iron patio furniture with glasses of champagne provided by the shoot caterer. She has changed into the outfit she arrived in, a sleeveless white eyelet Dolce & Gabbana midi dress, leather Chanel sneakers, and diamond studs the size of quarters. That must be heavy. Chloe, I don't care for heavy earrings. You wear them too much, they pull on your lobes, and then women get those huge dangly lobes that look like when people get the gauges, the spacers in their ears, and then they take them out, and they have like the big dangly loopy kind of, yeah, anyway, not my aesthetic. Okay. Chloe, the last time we talked, I was just engaged, about to go to space, and now it's all happening. It's true. 18 months ago, when I interviewed the couple in the foothills of Texas's Sierra Diablo Mountains for Vogue, Bezos made us margaritas in a rocket-shaped cocktail mixer, and when asked if he was getting involved in wedding planning, said, "Do I look that dumb?" Sanchez laughs when I remind her of this. He's more involved than you might think, he says. He's actually more artistic than people think. She describes him as very engaged with how the wedding should look. He's really good at it. Events include 2 welcome dinners, to which she'll wear a 2003 Alexander McQueen one-shouldered black column dress and a Schiaparelli couture off-the-shoulder dress with hand-embroidered flowers and a corset covered in gold bugle beads. Celebrity stylist Jamie Mizrahi consulted on her pre-wedding looks. Yes, and the paparazzi tried to ship Orlando Bloom with Jamie Mizrahi, who they were making a big deal out of the fact that she had styled Katy Perry, and then Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom broke up, and then Orlando was at the wedding in Italy, and he was seen in like the back of a taxi at night with Jamie Mizrahi, and she is married, and they were making it like maybe he was hooking up with her or something. Every woman that they could photograph Orlando Bloom within 5 feet of in Venice, they tried to pretend that this was like the new hookup. Oh, he's talking to Kim Kardashian again. He looked at her posterior once in a photograph with Katie years ago. This is a thing, you know. Then they had him with Sydney Sweeney, and I'll show that article in just a little bit. The photographs of Orlando Bloom with Sydney Sweeney as they tried to pretend that maybe this was like a thing are hysterical, especially when you see, well, a third person floating around in the back of the photos, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, and you know what? We are almost a half an hour in, and if you are enjoying this, I would request kindly for you to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. If you are listening/watching this live, go ahead and say hello in the chat. Give us your opinions. Tell us who you are, where you're coming from, anything you feel like sharing. Are you Diddy verdict watching on the side as I am? I have one screen on the courthouse at the moment. But anyway, this is French Dip Empire. I am the Empress. We are discussing the so-called wedding of the century. I think we have a lot longer to go to really see if this turns out to be the wedding of the century, this century. But anyway, some century. It's the wedding of some century, I suppose. Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez, now Bezos, and back to the Vogue article about her wedding dress. Okay, so events include the 2 welcome dinners, the ceremony, and then a post-wedding pajama-themed party. Oh boy, did that bring out some outfits. We'll look at that in a moment. Atelier Versace strapless Georgette dress with crystal mesh embroidery and matching dressing gown. We have incredible music planned, Sanchez says, noting that everyone playing at the wedding is a friend. Oh, they had a gospel choir, apparently were friends, because I saw that they had a gospel choir. Phones will not be allowed. Sanchez has paid special attention to the goodie bags awaiting guests in their hotel rooms, too, only telling me that each will include a sampling of Venetian fare. At the reception, men will be given Vivi Venezia blue velvet Venetian slippers, while ladies will receive plush black open-toe slippers from Amazon. So you have a little of both. Getting slippers from Amazon sounds like a last-minute gift that you had to get for, like, your mother-in-law for Christmas or something like that. Like, what do we get? We have to get her something. We need one more gift. I don't know, slippers. Like, what is it, like at those holiday ads, like get someone isotoner gloves or the slippers, right? It sounds like the guys are getting a better gift is what I'm saying. But anyway, I suppose you can actually get some brand names, high-end brands on Amazon. So perhaps I'm being a little judgy. I apologize. Okay, back to the article. Oh, here we get to the family. Sanchez's 3 children, 24-year-old Nico, that's who I was thinking of earlier, whose father and stepmother, Tony and Toby Gonzalez, will also attend the wedding. And yeah, I think we have photos of them coming up. And 19 and 17-year-old Evan and Ella from her marriage to Hollywood executive Patrick Whitesell will all wear Dolce. Her 2 sons will walk her down the aisle, she tells me, apologizing that she can't help tearing up as she envisions it. Her daughter Ella is her maid of honor and will deliver a reading. Ella also chose a Dolce suit. Ella's original. She beats to her own drum. She had never had a fitting before, and she loved it. She's going to look amazing. It has been the most fun dressing all the kids. A month earlier, on the first really warm day of spring, I met Domenico Dolce in his high-ceilinged New York City apartment. Dressed in head-to-toe black, Dolce was affable and charming, his shaven head gleaming. We settled... Is that the best compliment that we could give him? Well, his head was nice and shiny. Oh, hello, movie of the week. I see you in the chat. What, not another foam party? Yes, Jeff and Lauren had a foam party, which I normally associate with Marco Rubio. They had a foam party. It looked like on the deck of a boat. It was all very odd. Maybe I can find a photograph of that later. But yeah, they had a foam party. They had already had a foam party. They didn't want to do another one, movie of the week. That would be redundant and boring, I imagine. So, okay, continuing the article. Let's see. Okay, Domenico and his shiny head. We settled onto the leopard print U-shaped sofa, and a handsome uniformed waiter asked for my coffee order. When I demurred, Dolce was incredulous. No cappuccino, no espresso, zip! Water was served in gold-rimmed glasses embossed with gold D&G insignia. At the very beginning, with every wedding dress, I asked the lady, "Tell me what you dream," Dolce said, referring to his first fitting with Sanchez 6 weeks earlier in Milan. Because I want it to be right, and she's very fast, very dinamico. She was about to go to the moon, to space. Much was happening. It's a very important day for the lady, and the dress helps in this language. What is Sanchez's language for the weekend? Very Lauren. Sexy, happy, not too serious, not too drama. Not too drama? Oh, come on now. It was extremely dramatic. I mean, and to her credit, honestly, like to their credit, it was very dramatic. You can like it or not, but they certainly hit the mark on drama. Okay, elegant, but at the same time sensual. It's a good balance of sophisticated and crazy. Not crazy, wild. I think it reflects her mood. You said crazy. We're going with the first word, dolce. She's crazy. Yeah, okay. And here she is. Well, I like that dress. That's a beautiful color. Let's see. Kitchen Confidential. One of the wedding weekend dresses. A draped burgundy look from Dolce & Gabbana was loosely inspired by the Doges of Venice. Okay, I don't think the Doges of Venice... Well, first of all, they were men. But I don't think they were wearing strapless gowns. Pretty sure. Almost 100% sure. Maybe in their private lives, who knows. Paired here with Dolce & Gabbana Alto Joilleria. I'm terrible at that word. I apologize. Diamond and tourmaline necklace. I wish I could get a better view of the necklace. But the kitchen looks nice, I guess. I'm not into the... I don't like tiled counters. It's not the most hygienic, honestly. Not in a kitchen. Okay, continuing. Dolce and Siqueira were instrumental in the decision to have the wedding in Venice. Bezos and Sanchez were focused on Italy, but weren't sure where. They'd also considered Hawaii, where they own a home. Capri had been discussed and Taormina, but the Italian couple insisted Venice was the most romantic city in the world. I think it was just trolling their guests and making all the ladies with their heels and their high cut, low cut, if that makes sense, dresses, having to go get in and out of boats. Even some of the gents seem to have a little bit of an issue getting in and out of the water taxis. But continuing. Then Diane von Furstenberg, who lives in a palazzo on the Grand Canal, offered to host a welcome dinner to kick off the weekend. The decision was made. Well, I think that would seal the deal for me. That's very generous of Diane. Let's see. I called Venice it, and Diane corrected me and said, Venice is a she, explained Sanchez, imitating von Furstenberg's authoritative purr. And so now I always refer to Venice as she. It's important the clothes live with the location, explains Dolce. You stay in harmonia like a movie. This means that one of the dresses for the weekend, a draped deep V burgundy velvet look, the one we just saw above, here you go, ta-da, okay, was inspired by the Doges of Venice, though only in color, says Gabbana. Of course, historically, Doges, the medieval magistrates who ruled the Venetian oligarchy, wore loose, high-necked crimson robes. Another option, well, no, I mean, we really didn't think they wore strapless gowns, did we? Another option features a print of the Canaletto painting, The Return of the Bucintoro on Ascension Day, on double-faced Duchess silk, embellished with shimmering Swarovski crystals and seed and bugle beads. Not bling-bling, though. It's not bling-bling at all. At the Vogue shoot, Sanchez wears the Canaletto dress against a wall of not-yet-flowering jasmine, studded by a prop stylist with pale pink English roses. Cobblestones present a challenge underfoot. Oh, tell me about it. Oh, downtown New York, downtown lower Manhattan, cobblestones plus high-heeled shoes equals no bueno. Cobblestones present a challenge underfoot. I'm an expert in heels, Sanchez says. I think I was born in stilettos. Well, that would have been incredibly painful for your mother. I hope that was a cesarean. Ouch. You could cut your own way out. Okay. When Sanchez was is this the dress? Let's see. Oh, no, that's a picture. I was hoping it would be a picture of the dress they just mentioned. It's another picture of the wedding dress. We'll get back to that. When Sanchez was a little girl in Albuquerque, New Mexico, she used to make veils with extra lace from her mother's sewing supplies. I always wanted to be a bride, she recalls. Her aunt would send her copies of Vogue Spain, and she would find dresses she liked and buy the fabric to make them with her mom, like a red puff sleeve one for her high school prom. I mean, that's the closest thing I've ever had to something like this, she says. Her first wedding dress was something she bought when she saw it in a shop window while driving through Century City. I've never had a dress designed for me like this, something so personal. During the fitting in Milan the day before the shoot, Dolce took a pair of fabric shears and snipped the sleeve off of the bodice. I couldn't believe it, marvels Sanchez. He literally just cut it off. He then reapplied it, slightly adjusted. The dress, which took 900 hours of atelier work, also features little buttons per Gabbana, from neck to torso. Known as priest buttons, the motif is continued down the train. 180 hand-finished, silk chiffon-covered buttons in all. The whole thing was like a dream, Sanchez says. Okay, so my question is, do you suppose that you actually have to button all of those buttons? I guess those from neck to torso. If you see the photo here, you can see her on the lower left-hand side, all of those buttons. Do you imagine that she had to be buttoned into that thing? I imagine they are just simply decorative, not working buttons. That would be a nightmare to get off. Not that I'm sure she would have an assistant or two to undo buttons for her if she needed it. But I'm guessing they're non-functional, but merely decorative. Here they are. Again, oh, look at all that. Well, it looks like they're buttons all the way down. Buttons all the way down. Well, that's lovely. Okay, anything else? No? Okay, continuing. Well, I'll leave the picture of the dress up. There we go. Bezos was kept in a neighboring room trying on his tuxedo. It's the best tux I've ever seen, says Sanchez, who caught a glimpse of the one-button peaked label design. He's going to be so handsome. I can't wait. Her face scrunches in excitement. He's very simple. I mean, he likes fashion and he looks good, but it's not something he thinks about like I do. He just looks good in everything he wears. Speaking of the men, it was so funny to see the contrast between so many of the men were dressed incredibly casually, regardless of the more money they had, I think the more casually dressed they were, with like t-shirts, polos, that kind of thing, Bill Gates and whatnot. And then the ladies were almost all dressed, up to the nines. I imagine the poor men are just throwing their clothes on, pants, socks, shoes, belts, and they're pretty, and a baseball cap maybe, and they're pretty much ready to go. And then the ladies are just fussing. Anyway, funny contrasts, which we'll see in the photos coming up in just a little bit. Okay, for the wedding, her hair will be the same as it is on this shoot day. Loose, romantic, swept up. Her makeup will be light and clean. Hardly any glam, the least amount of makeup, she insists. This is part of the evolution. I want it as natural as you can get. Natural. Okay, natural. Sanchez has lost 3.5 pounds in the lead up to her wedding. A lot for her. She's a petite 5 foot 4 inches tall. I don't think she would need to lose any weight. She doesn't need to lose money either. Although I guess they lost a lot of money on this wedding. She has kept up her daily workouts with Bezos, but not implemented any specific diet beyond avoiding alcohol for a few weeks before this shoot and cutting down on salt. I like food, she explains later, apologetically. Food is such a big part of life. I'm Latin. She goes on, some people meditate. I work out. It's something Jeff and I do every morning. We have our coffee, we talk about whatever's going on, and then we go to the gym. Some habits don't change. Others will. I'm grateful to be stepping into a different role, she says, and I don't take it lightly. I think it comes with a responsibility, and that is to give back. That is my mission. Well, this is kind of interesting when we see in a little bit one of the criticisms, one of these celebrity criticizers of the wedding was complaining about how much money was spent on the wedding ceremonies, and also people sort of not like a backhanded compliment, but sort of a backhanded insult, going to social media to praise Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie, for donating so much money to charity. Well, I guess I've gotten a little bit ahead of this, but we'll see who the celebrities were who were sort of piling on the Bezos wedding hate later in the stream. Okay, continuing the Vogue article. Sanchez is vice chairperson of the philanthropic Bezos Earth Fund, and the couple is asking for charitable donations in lieu of wedding gifts. They also made donations on behalf of their guests to several local charities supporting the city of Venice and its heritage. Yes, I assume they would have, I believe they're still doing Save Venice, are they not? Trying to say, oh, there she is. There's Lauren in her veil looking out the window. How nice. It's a nice shot. It really is a good shot. Save Venice because it's like sinking. All the water is like rotting the buildings, and it's kind of awful. Not maybe the best design for for the city in the long term, but they're hanging in there for the moment. So. Okay, she wants to give back. It is after 8 p.m. The sun is still high in the sky, but Sanchez is late for dinner with Bezos. Where are they going? I don't know. He likes to surprise me. She thanks everyone at the shoot and says what a wonderful day it has been. I'm very happy, she tells me. More than the dress, I'm happy that I'm getting married and I get to spend my life with my best friend, someone who sees me, someone who adores me, someone who I adore. I am the luckiest woman on the planet. She picks up her black crocodile Hermes Kelly bag to head out. Like, right after this, I can't wait to go back and tell him about my day. Well, isn't that nice and lovely? Oh, look at the cute doggo. Oh, look at the little pug. How cute. Very, very cute. Okay, so that is that's the major Vogue article, the cover story in Vogue with Lauren in her wedding dress. And here is article number 2. This was published June 28, 2025. Lauren Sanchez Bezos' ongoing fashion fascination with Sophia Loren. And here's another picture of Lauren in her dress. And the two little, I'm not sure, children ladies in the background here. They became a little bit of an internet sensation. Here's from the Daily Mail. Uncomfortable staff in the background of Lauren Sanchez's bridal photos go viral. And here they are. They show them a little bit more clearly as she's posing here. I wonder what that is. That's kind of lovely. Whatever's hanging on the little dress form back here. And then they zoom in and just sort of awkwardly standing there waiting for her photo to be taken. Oh, they're the ladies from Dolce. They've got the little lace collars. These were the ladies fixing her gown, standing awkwardly there in the background. It kind of reminds me of one of the streams that we did for La Bal des Débutantes. And there was one of the debutantes was doing like a little TikTok video and sort of dancing around in the hotel that she was, I guess, getting dressed in the room and sort of dancing for her video. And there was one of the staff, like a guy in the background, just sort of, having to be kind of awkwardly in the background while someone is doing their TikTok video. This also kind of reminds me of that picture of Chloe Grace Moretz walking down the street, and there's that young guy, it looks like a valet parking attendant or something, standing in the background making a little bit of a face. They're not making that much of a face, but even in the blurry photo, you can kind of see they look a little awkward. Okay, there are the pictures. There they are. There's Lauren and Jeff looking lovely. She does look very vintage with the hat and the dress. And see, Jeff looking very casual in his black t-shirt. And there she is in, her lovely dress. And although, okay, is it me? Is the zipper falling down under her arm right here? Surely that's meant to go all the way up. And the seam isn't meant to be split like that. Okay, well, I mean, things happen. Okay, so anyway, back to the Vogue article. Let's see. So we know a little bit about this already. Okay, by her own admission, Lauren Sanchez Bezos did not marry Jeff Bezos in the kind of gown she initially envisioned. Well, we know that. Originally, she told Vogue's Chloe Malle that she had visions of a strapless dress, but after going on a Blue Origin space flight to the Carmen line, both her perspective about her life and style shifted. It went from, I think this is a service that Bezos should offer to all fashion forward individuals. If you can, I guess, afford it, you should go up in Blue Origin, hit the what do you call that? Almost outer space, and come back with new visions for your personal style. I think you could charge a pretty penny and probably do a good job with that. Have a nice business, because Jeff needs more businesses and more money. So I'll give him that I'll give him that, and if he would like to pay me a finder's fee, that would be nice, or maybe even cut me in on the action. That would be cool. Okay. So back to the article. It went from, I want a simple, sexy, modern dress to, I want something that evokes a moment and where I am right now. Yes, and her mantra, I am a different person than I was 5 years ago. Okay, so they go over again, Sophia Loren and Houseboat and the details. So this is the dress that they are speaking of. Sophia Loren here and Cary Grant here in the 1958 film Houseboat. That dress designed by the Hollywood costume designer Edith Head, as this article, this paragraph here mentions, legendary costume designer, indeed, Edith Head, who received 8 Academy Awards, wow, as well as a total of 35 nominations and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for her work with Paramount Pictures and Universal Pictures. She's known for crafting the clothes worn by Audrey Hepburn in Roman Holiday and Breakfast at Tiffany's, Grace Kelly in To Catch a Thief, and Gloria Swanson in Sunset Boulevard. So absolutely iconic, classic, and extremely memorable outfits. Great inspiration indeed. And here are 2 more photos. They're tiny and black and white, but you can see the back of the dress. There's Domenico Dolce putting on the veil. And here she is getting zipped up into the dress, the back of the dress. Okay. Although Loren has been a consistent style inspiration for Sanchez, in April, Sanchez attended the 2025 Breakthrough Prize in a 1994 John Galliano dress once worn by the Fellini muse. On a now deleted Instagram post, Sanchez cleared her profile after officially marrying Bezos. She called her an icon of strength and timeless beauty. It seems likely that Sanchez may have more old Hollywood fashion nods up her long lace sleeves, and that was just a little tiny write-up, so that's cool that we get to see the inspiration for her dress. You can see the high neck, the lace all the way down the arms, and the bodice. And if you look very closely, you can kind of see the teeny tiny little buttons down the front. So moving on. Now here we go. This is June 26th. More Vogue. This is more of the Vogue coverage. Lauren Sanchez's first bridal look, Schiaparelli couture. So this is the Schiaparelli dress, and it's beautifully constructed, but it is a very odd shape and profile. And you can see it here. They have a larger they don't have a larger photo of it. Okay, we do have more photos, more outfits. Okay, so let's see what this was. Lauren Sanchez just gave the world the first look at her wedding weekend fashion. Tonight, not tonight as we are speaking live, but then, tonight, the former television presenter was captured by photographers outside the Amman Venice, wearing a Schiaparelli dress from their spring 2025 couture collection. The gold look, designed by Daniel Roseberry, features a corseted bodice covered in gold bugle beads, as well as an off-the-shoulder neckline with hand-embroidered flowers. I mean, the embroidery is lovely, and the construction is lovely, but it just looks weird and kind of uncomfortable. I mean, most of these fashions look kind of uncomfortable, but it does seem a little odd. And oddly, it looks a little mismatched, and it doesn't quite match up for me, but whatever. It's certainly striking and beautiful in its own way. She accessorized with what appears to be diamond earrings. Are they as big as a quarter? They may be the same earrings we heard about in the Vogue article, or the earlier Vogue article. This is also a Vogue article. As well as her multi-million-dollar engagement ring. I wonder if I can click on this, if it'll come up and let us see the engagement ring. Here we go. I'm not reading this whole article. Oh, look at that dress. It is the Met Gala from last year. There's Jeff and Lauren at the 2024 Met Gala. Let's see the ring. Here's the ring. Pink, like her manicure. Nice. All right, let's see it a little close. Oh, well, there it looks less pink, but still big. Bigger than a quarter. Let's see. Cost between $3 and $5 million. 30-carat pink diamond. Well, not bad. Not bad. Little awkward, little big. Probably want to take that off when you're doing the dishes, right? But at least it won't get lost down the sink drain. It won't fit. Okay, so let's get back to the fashion. Jeff Bezos, meanwhile, stepped out in a dark blazer and partially unbuttoned white shirt. The couple waved to onlookers as they boarded a water taxi to a welcome dinner. So that was one of the two welcome dinners. And there you can sort of barely see Jeff in his outfit helping Lauren, with a little ponytail action going on, and some dangling tendrils. Looks nice. Nice hair. Sanchez, who has previously told Vogue that she's having fun with fashion after years of having to wear suits while at her job as a television presenter, has kept the world guessing about the details of her Venice wedding. Well, not any longer. I have to say, I do have a Pinterest, Sanchez told the Today Show. I'm just like every other bride. Well, in some ways, sure. However, it is clear that she is embracing the highest of fashion for such a high-profile moment. In addition to the Schiaparelli, she wore a 2003 Alexander McQueen dress with mother-of-pearl stripes from Tab Vintage while emerging from her hotel on Wednesday. And here's the Alexander McQueen stripy dress. It looks neat. It's kind of disco, kind of vintage, like late 70s looking. Kind of reminds me of a dress I remember from the old Cher doll. If you excuse me, if you recall the old Cher doll, there was a Cher doll made back in the late 70s, early 80s. I want to say I think it must have been the late 70s. And there's a dress that kind of looks like that the Cher doll had. So kind of neat. And then again, Jeff looking very cash, but well fitted, but casual and comfortable. Continuing the article, a number of celebrities and world figures were also spotted departing their hotels via water taxi for the first night of celebrations. And we were watching that live on a previous episode. Kim Kardashian had on a hip-hugging snakeskin print dress, while her mother Kris wore a black chiffon maxi dress and dangling diamond earrings. Kris Jenner looked fantastic and incredibly tasteful, and I was shocked. Kim, not so much. Meanwhile, Orlando Bloom wore a tan suit hours after news broke that he and Katy Perry had called off their engagement. It's only day one, and the Bezos-Sanchez wedding is already a spectacle. Well, there's Kim looking, well, about what you'd expect, I suppose. And there's Orlando, who he looks that's sort of like, he looks kind of classic. I'm trying to think, not quite, maybe a little Cary Grant, maybe a little, I don't know. I almost want to say Errol Flynn, but that, he was a little sleazy. But I feel as though Orlando, as he's aging, is giving off a little bit of a slightly sleazy kind of thing. I think it's because he's dyeing his hair a little too dark. We'll see that in a second. That's the end of that Vogue article. And we'll see more pictures of Orlando Bloom in just a moment. And okay, so that's it for Vogue. Now we'll get to guests, more guests, and who was wearing what. So I'll just look at the pictures. We're not reading all the text on this. Oh, wow. Gee willikers. Okay, so here's Lauren wearing they think it's Versace dress. And wow, a lot of guests, lady guests, female guests, were wearing a pink sort of in this vein of pink. I guess like a dress code maybe was sent out. Maybe the ladies were requested to wear a certain color pink, and various guests wore dresses. Ivanka Trump did. Oprah was wearing one. Anyway, so that pink, although this looks incredibly uncomfortable, very tight. The work is nice. The construction work. Okay. And here's Jeff. And again, a lot more casual, a lot more comfortable looking. He's happy. And, I guess he looks good. It's hard to look bad when you're just wearing basic, right? Basic black, basic suit. The lovely couple in the water taxi. And this is an odd outfit. So here's Kendall Jenner. I love the color blue. It's so vibrant, but it looks odd. Incredibly short mini skirt, the long jacket. Yeah, the band Cake would be thrilled, I suppose. But the scarf, head covering, I'm not exactly sure what she was going for. It looks like I don't know. It looks like an undergarment that got stuck on her head. It looks weird. That's just my opinion. But I love the color. Here's Oprah with Gail a little bit behind her. Gail, color coordinated, as you can see. You can barely see. This was for the pajama party, the after-wedding pajama party. So Oprah is wearing, this is a sort of, not Malibu, marabou, ostrich feather sleeves, detail on the sleeves. Looking very monochromatic bronze, showing off her weight loss, having taken those injections. And this was I did not care for this dress at all. This is Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. It looks unfinished. It looks, well, honestly cheap. A lot of these things look cheap in some weird way. And okay, is that male? I mean, metal. Is that little male shoulder sleeves and decoration? It's very odd. This just looks like a test. Like when you're trying things out and you're just go, oh, can I sew this fabric to this fabric? How will that look? And then you just gave it to someone to wear. Thumbs down for me. I'm sorry. I didn't care for this dress at all. And I feel like I'm showing something I shouldn't. This seems almost NSFW. I feel like I need to roll this up. This looks like she got attacked in a dark alley. Okay, that's Kim Kardashian looking like, well, I mean, she is walking on a street, so you can kind of guess where I'm going with that. But look at the necklace. Gorgeous. There's really no way for me to not show that off. Well, you can see the necklace if you can distract yourself. And goodness, there must be glue. Speaking of attaching things with Gorilla Glue to make sure that doesn't slip off. Not her best look. And speaking of not her best look, here's Kylie Jenner. Again, it's like little metal. Not quite male, but, chain. Her chain top and the white skirt. I don't care for this at all. Doesn't look great on her. I don't think it would look good on anyone. Here's Ivanka and Jared Kushner. Ivanka Trump Kushner, Jared Kushner. And again, notice the husband, very casual, black t-shirt, dark blue shirt. And she's wearing a little, sequin black dress. That looks nice. And, okay, this was not the Kris Jenner outfit that I liked. I don't love those glasses. I don't love the hair. And I don't love the outfit. But it is very Kris. It feels like it is very, very Kris. Very Kris. And it's very striking. And it's very sort of like old school Hollywood glamour. But I don't care for it. And this was hysterical. Every photograph of Leo DiCaprio, he is covering his face. It's ridiculous. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows he's there. And he's either pulling the brim of the baseball cap down, or I think there's one where he has a hoodie pulled over his face. We will probably see that in just a moment. But I keep wondering, like, dude, you're famous. You pose for photos all the time. Did he do something? Did he get like eye work done that it hasn't fully healed and he's trying to cover it up? Why does he keep covering his face? It's so odd. Like, you're in public. If he really wanted to avoid paparazzi, he could totally figure out how to do that. So you go in public, but you pull it. Whatever. He's silly. He's ridiculous. Okay, this person, Brooks Nader, I'm not like super familiar with this lady. This is not the most flattering. It's way too tight up here. Just, again, I don't know. Brian Grazer, he looks at first I thought it was just the shirt, the leopard print shirt. Then I realized he has matching pants. Well, it is a pajama party, so this feels very on brand, and he always has that hair. The funniest thing I've ever heard about Brian Grazer, the film producer, yes, is that he's a prankster and that he loves to go to people's houses, like when he's invited over to someone's house for a party, that sort of thing. And he'll take a photograph of himself, I guess like a framed photograph of himself, and just put it on, say, a fireplace mantle or somewhere where people have their framed family photos and, you know, normal photos that one would have in their home. And he just takes a photo of himself and slips it among the photographs that people have in their home and doesn't say anything, just leaves it for them to find one day. I actually think that's really funny. And that's a great prank because it's completely harmless and it's just amusing. So that's funny. And it's a photo of him with the crazy hair. That's awesome. So anyway, I guess, Brian Grazer, you're welcome to any party in the French Dip Empire that you would like to attend. Just make sure to bring a framed photograph of yourself because that would be fun. Oh, and if you look over here on the side, you can see Oprah in her pink dress. I mentioned that there were several ladies who wore the pink, that specific sort of shade hue of pink. Okay, let's move on. And more guests. This is Queen Rania of Jordan. She was there with her elder son, the Crown Prince, the Crown Prince's wife, their baby daughter, and her elder daughter, Rania's daughter, who I believe is behind her. So here's Rania wearing her dress, very tasteful, kind of what would you call that? Not quite pale teal, not quite seafoam. I'm not sure. Look at this guy's hair. That's quite a look. He's got a real look. Okay, so that's her daughter-in-law, the Crown Princess, Rajwa, obviously casual. Those jeans look huge. She looks like she's wearing her husband's pants. They're so big. And this is Rania's daughter, Iman, I believe, yes, who is, I don't know if her husband's with her. Is that him behind her? I forget what he looks like. They had a baby recently, I believe, somewhat recently. There's been a lot of marriages and births in the Jordanian royal family as of the past 2 years or so. Here's Rania looking casual in her cutout top, white top and dark pants. And there she is again in the dress. Look at all these people trying to help her into this. See, this is what I mean about inviting people to your formal event in Venice and making them travel around in these water taxis when they're all dressed up. You've got your clutch bags. So now everybody has stuff in their hands. The ladies have clutch bags with no straps to put around their shoulders or, arms. People are holding their phones in their hands. A lot of people apparently wearing pocketless outfits and not having bags that they can just throw their bits and pieces into and sling it over their shoulder. So a lot of helping hands are required. And so, here's the Crown Princess again, Crown Prince Hussein, who's holding their baby, Princess Iman. There are two Princess Imans, the elder Princess Iman, who's the Crown Prince's sister, and then little baby Princess Iman here. It's weird that they pixelated her face because there were other photos that actually showed, I thought, the baby's face, but maybe I saw them on a different publications site. And also because it's a baby. I mean, it's a baby. Babies look like babies. I know they don't all look exactly alike, but, more or less. And no one's going to do, like, what are you going to do if you see the face of the royal Jordanian baby? Nothing. Anyway. And here's Rajwa in her dress, which is very black and very funereal, and I don't think it's super complimentary. I much prefer her mother-in-law's dress. And I guess the other Iman, Princess Iman, looked okay too, but it was harder to see her dress. And here's another dress of Rania. And again, the sort of pale pink that kind of vibes with the Oprah pink, the Lauren pink, and whatnot. So that's her. Moving on, Murdochs. There were Murdochs in attendance. Lachlan, Rupert Murdoch's elder son, and his wife Sarah. And there's Sarah. Now, I think she looks great here. The hair looks very, slick, perfect. There's Lachlan right here. That's Sarah. And she was a model, so, she should look good in pretty much anything. And there's Jeff and Lauren again. And then scrolling down. Okay, now, here's Ivanka and here's Sarah. Ivanka, there's the pink with her beautiful, if you watched our previous stream when we covered the guests live and the water taxis in Venice, we were talking about Ivanka and her pink dress. It's beautiful work. Sarah here, the dress fits. The jewels are lovely, and they're all real. That's all real bling, bling, bling. This is a very, very, very severe look. I much prefer. Here, I'll go back up a little bit. That looks so much nicer. The hair down looks so great. The hair back looks so incredibly severe. And smiles make everybody look better. So maybe it's just an unpleasant photograph where she's looking a little, I don't know. Maybe she's thinking, I have to get into the water taxi. Where am I going to put my phone? Put it in your bag. And here she is again, Sarah with Lachlan wearing the classic black tie tuxedo. I don't know why, but the tattoos feel incongruous with the dress. And I'm not anti-tattoo, but it always strikes me as odd when women wear revealing evening wear, and then there's like ink. I don't know why. I don't have a problem with tattoos, but when they show on evening wear, it always looks odd to me. Like Princess Sophia of Sweden, you can see her, I think she has, is it the back of her neck or on her back? You can sometimes see her tat, and it just looks a little odd. I don't know why. To me, just incongruous. I don't hate. It just looks strange. Okay, more guests. Oh, and this is what I was mentioning before. Okay, so here's Orlando Bloom. Look at the ridiculous. Oh, I can't click to make that go away. The ridiculous shipping that the media was trying to do, desperately creating these ridiculous headlines. Sydney Sweeney, 27, strolls through Venice with newly single Orlando Bloom, 48, and Tom Brady. After she sparked romance rumors with NFL star so now they're trying to put her together with Tom Brady, with NFL star at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. Well, which is it? Are they trying to say Sydney's cozying up with Tom, cozying up with Orlando? Hey, maybe they want to get together a little throuple action. Heaven forbid. But look at these three. Okay, here they are. All right. Here's Orlando in the black. My goodness, he is never skipping leg day. Look at his thighs. That's insane. I'm sorry, but his thigh muscle definition makes me want to go work out. Wow. Okay. It's amazing to me. And here's Tom Brady, the football player, whose legs look less defined than Orlando Bloom, the actor. I don't know. Tom was a quarterback, right? I guess you don't need the most muscular legs as a quarterback. I don't know. I'm not a football fan. Maybe someone can correct me on that or set me straight. But anyway, there's Tom Brady. There's Orlando Bloom. Here's a random maybe assistant guy because he doesn't he doesn't exactly look like security, does he? And then there's Sydney. Here's Sydney Sweeney. And her dress is lovely. The shoes are cute. The glasses are nice. And her hair looks fantastic. Whoever's doing the coloring and styling of her hair, it looks really nice. And she looks lost. She actually looks like a bored child that someone forced to take a photograph. Like, stand there, let me take your picture. Mom, leave me alone. Come on, do it. Anyway, so here are more photos. Now she's not even looking at the camera. She's literally looking away from Orlando. And you can see Tom is looking at his phone. Look at that. Gee, the definition on his thighs. My goodness. It's a little unbalanced, isn't it? It seems like it. Okay. And here they are. Tom, this is what's so weird. Here's Orlando. And those legs, he looks like a gymnast. What is he training for? And then there's Tom skulking in the background like they're trying not to get caught together. Like it's a couple. Like they're a couple trying not to be caught with one another, which is weird because it's Venice. There are people everywhere. There's paparazzi everywhere. Whatever. And lady in the back, no. Just no. No. None of those work. Okay, and here we go. Here's Sydney. And I swear, I hope this girl is enjoying her fame because, like, every picture I see of her, she looks bored, out of her mind. Maybe not quite miserable, but she often just looks, bored. But, again, the dress and shoes look nice. Bored. Bored. There, she looks a little happier. Well, maybe she has a friend to talk to. And again, she's wearing the pink that we saw. That's a pretty dress. And I wish I could see the necklace better, but that looked good. And here we go. All right, this is what I mean about Orlando. I think he's dyeing his hair a little too dark. Maybe he should stay out of the sun a little bit or use some sunblock unless this is a spray tan. But I feel like he's just starting to look a little sleazy in his old age, a little, I don't know, a little greasy. But I mean, the suit fits, the tux looks nice, I guess. Okay, here's Kim Kardashian. Now we're back to the casual wear. Those glasses don't look like they fit well. I don't approve of it. I don't care for that outfit. There's Chloe looking very dressed down, sort of yoga outfit with a jacket. More Kim. Okay. More Kim. Okay, she's shilling that drink, whatever that is, energy drink or whatnot. Okay, blah, blah. Oh, and here they are, the contrast between the casual. Okay, casual. Kim's even wearing, look at the high heels on the gravel. Ooh, not fun. Chloe sensibly wearing her sneaks. And here they are, glamorous. Kim in the, I forget what color that was exactly. It's hard to tell. And then Chloe wearing the pink. Remember I said a lot of ladies were wearing the pink. She looks very Kris. I can really see the Kris Jenner in Chloe in that photo. And oh yeah, okay, so here was Kendall wearing that awful black dress. I saw this on the last stream that I did. And again, I didn't care for it. It looked cheaply put together. I mean, I guess, the line is okay. But it's hard to see because the lighting is very dim. But we got to see this in better light. And you can really see it's very see-through here. And this just looks like some weird... I described it before as... ladies and some gentlemen, you might be aware that there are the certain kinds of brassieres that ladies might have where they have the sort of slip-in foam cup, the removable foam cup. It kind of looks like that. It looks like undergarment and not very like a cheap, poorly sewn undergarment. And you know that the Kardashian Jenner people are getting, top fashion. So I don't approve of high fashion that looks cheap, like it would fall apart in one, wearing. Okay. But the jewels look lovely. The green looks lovely. This especially, you can't, again, see it so well in the low light, but in the brighter light, the green just, boom. I assume they are emeralds. I assume they are real. Probably loners, but, Oh, there's Chloe again. And Kim making awful faces. that don't look good in photos. Oh, there's Kim in the dress. It fits great. Oh, okay. Yeah, sequin. There they are again. And yes, Chloe wearing the pink, and this just, I don't know what the trend is with having the giant, you could drive a tractor truck through the cleavage look with the dresses that I don't know. I suppose I'm old fashioned. I prefer a more classic design, but it just looks odd. It just looks very odd. The necklace is kind of neat. Is Chloe trying to get plastic surgery to look more like her mother? Like a bigger, taller version of her mother? I don't know what's going on there, but... And there's Kim again. Kim. It was a very, very Kardashian, Jenner heavy... and look, there's DiCaprio with the baseball cap. Ridiculous. And there's Chris with Corey Gamble. And he's casual. What is that? Louis Vuitton hat. Didn't shave, though, although maybe that's his look. I don't follow him and her. I like her giant sunglasses, though. Her giant chandelier earrings. Okay, there you go. There's a better view of Kendall. And I don't, again, personal choice. I don't like the necklace with the scarf. I think pick one, but okay. And then Kylie behind her wearing the sort of gray, silver, platinum color dress. There it is. It looks Versace-ish. It's odd. It's very well constructed, but it just makes her look way too wide, like comically wide in the hips. It just odd dress. Oddly, it looks like it was designed for Kim, and then they gave it to Kylie, but okay. And helping her into the boat. It was fun watching the gentlemen help the ladies into the boats, into the water taxis, and see which of the ladies got the sort of one-hand treatment, which got the two-hand, like one man on each side will give them a hand to hold as they step into the boat. And I saw at least one grab them around the waist and haul them like bodily into the boat, which was that was amusing. There's Kylie and Kendall again, or Kendall and Kylie, and Kendall again. I'd really like to see a better close-up of that necklace. And there's Jeff waving to his public. There's Tommy Hilfiger. And this looks black, but I saw a different photograph of that, and I think it was dark blue or dark green. It looked like it was velvet, actually, and it may very well have been. There's Jeff again, three-piece tux. And this was a lovely little outfit. Again, very vintage, very old, Hollywood. Lauren wearing her white and black, the little kerchief. Looks nice. Okay, here's Oprah. Oprah wearing the pink. She's getting, I guess, more into the fashion for ladies with smaller waists now that she's been taking the fat loss injections. But it's an odd contrast to me, the dress with the hair and then the glasses. Maybe the hair is okay, but the glasses is a little weird. And she seems oddly lacking in jewelry. She needs a necklace or something. I think she's wearing earrings, but they're not that large. Or maybe a hair ornament of some kind, but the glasses kind of ruin the look for me. And here's DiCaprio putting the cap in Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo wears his, is that an LA Dodgers? Is it Dodgers? I don't follow baseball either. His LA baseball cap. Someone was wearing a New York one. I can't remember. Was that Bill Gates? Who was there? We'll probably see it in a moment. There was another of the male guests who was wearing the black stitching on black baseball cap, but it was New York. It was a Yankees cap. And that's Miguel Bezos, a.k.a. Mike. That's Jeff's his stepfather. Adoptive stepfather. It's his stepfather, but he took his name. Maybe they did the legal adoption. I don't know, but that's his dad. And there's Carly Kloss Kushner, who is currently pregnant, also wearing a black dress to a wedding, which again, I find funereal. But anyway, for a model, I didn't think she had the best look, but the necklace looks nice. There's Bill Gates looking, standard. See, guys can just wear the basic and they're fine. And I think that's his girlfriend behind him, who looks so much like his ex-wife. It's funny. There will probably be another photo of her, and you can see that. Okay, these two were interesting. That's John Elkann. He is the grandson of the head of Fiat, late head of Fiat, Gianni Agnelli. And he's now, I believe, running the company. And then that's his wife, Lavinia Borromeo Elkann, who is the older half-sister of Beatrice Borromeo Grimaldi. Not Grimaldi, I'm sorry, one of the Grimaldis, Casiraghi, who's married to Pierre Casiraghi, the younger son of Princess Caroline of Monaco, and she is currently pregnant, Beatrice, and we covered that a little bit on one of our recent episodes about the scandals of the Monaco royal family, part 1 of a series, which we will be adding to in the future. If you're interested in that, you can go check that out on our channel. And if you are listening/watching, this is French Dip Empire. I am the Empress, and we would be thrilled beyond belief if you would click that like button, go ahead and subscribe, join us in the chat if you are listening/watching live, and if you are catching this on the playback, go ahead and leave a comment under this and let us know how you're enjoying it. So this is the Elkanns, and Lavinia here wearing a gown that I saw a commenter on another site described it as looking like a Christmas tree. It's certainly shiny enough, but there you go. And okay, that poor lady, she doesn't look thrilled. Again, the incongruity of a giant tattoo when you're wearing formal wear. Again, don't hate tats. It just always looks weird to me. This I didn't care for on Usher. Here's me being a little, critical. I don't like the pattern. It looks really big on him. Not that it's too large for him, but it makes him look weirdly bulky and big, which I don't think Usher is. And her dress, I guess, I don't know. I don't love it. I guess it's okay. I hope she's enjoying herself. She doesn't look happy. And since I've dragged Usher, because I didn't like many of Usher's looks at the Bezos wedding weekend, I would like to make up for that. Later, there will be another photograph of Usher where he looks absolutely fantastic. And it's not just that the outfit looks good, because the outfit looked fine, but there's one photograph and the photographer got an action shot and he looks amazing. He looks like a model. So that totally makes up for this blazer, which I don't happen to care for. Okay. And Lydia Kives, I guess that's how you say that. I have no idea who this lady is. I like the color of her dress, but I don't know. Is she wearing earrings? I feel like this needs a necklace. This looks like so much real estate here. But it's cute. And yes, there you go. You might be able to see this. This is Tommy Hilfiger, and this, it looks like he's wearing tails. It looks velvety, and it doesn't look quite black. It looks maybe dark green or dark blue. I thought green, but kind of hard to tell. Would love to see that up close. Okay, there's Rania, Queen Rania, again with Princess Iman behind her, her daughter, Crown Prince Hussein, her son, and then Princess Rajwa. If I'm saying that correctly, I hope I am. His wife, you could barely see, but her dress wasn't that great. And there's Domenico Dolce with his head doesn't look so shiny there, but there he is. And I think this guy needs to, I wonder if that's gooey. Is that gooey? He needs to lighten up with the lightening up, I think. Maybe pull back on the blonde after a point. Sometimes much like Orlando Bloom with the over dyeing your dark hair, can sometimes make a lady or gentleman look a little older than they maybe should or do. Sometimes when you go a little too blonde as you age, that can look it can be oddly aging. It really depends on who you are. So that's my verdict. And this was a surprise. It's Jewel. You know, the singer, Jewel. There she is, wearing her outfit. I have to say, I'm not sure what Jewel's doing here. I don't think the dress is meant for her. I don't feel that this is the most flattering design. It's a giant flower. Maybe the hair color is a little too orangey. I don't know. I don't like her styling. She's clearly, fit, but I don't get it. And it's funny. I wonder how she's friends with them. Okay, and here's Gabbana. We had Dolce, now we have Gabbana. And much, very chill and casual. Okay. Oh, right, that's right. Francois-Henri Pinault was there, a.k.a. Mr. Salma Hayek. And the question is, where was Salma? Why was she not at the wedding? Well, we have an answer for that coming up. And there's Edward Enninful with wait, is that? Okay, that is a cute little bag. But UK Vogue editor, right? Is he still? Did they get rid of him? I know there were a lot of criticisms. But there he is. Again, classic. And I do kind of like his tinted shades. Those are neat. And then there's Leo's girlfriend in a much better dress. Not amazing, but it looks nice. It's fine. Actually, she seems to have better chemistry with whoever this guy is, the water taxi pilot, or driver, I'm not really sure, than she does with Leo. I've seen pictures of them together. They look like that. Well, Leo with pretty much any woman looks like they have zero chemistry, but there you go. Okay, so here's more coverage of fashion. And it's kind of funny. We have the best guest dressed, we have the worst dressed guests, and I swear it's the same people. It's the exact same people. They pretty much took the same photos and the same people and just wrote the article and switched best for worst and published 2 articles almost exactly the same. So let's take a look. Here's more Lauren, again looking kind of old school, classic, the big hat, which is very nice. I kept looking at all the ladies with their exposed faces in the Italian sun and wondering how many of them would have preferred to have some hats to keep the sun off of their skin. It's very aging, but there you go. There's Lauren, and I guess Jeff. Here's Rania. We saw that picture. And there's Chris, a slightly different angle. Okay. Oh, and this was one of the better dresses. I do agree. Ivanka Trump, regardless of how you feel about her politics, her father, her husband, her business practices, whatever, she did have some of the best outfits that I saw. It's nice print, nice cut, and it fits her well. And, she's actually contained within that dress. Imagine that. It fits. So that's lovely. Here's Carly Kloss Kushner. She, of course, is pregnant. So why she would be wearing the sort of loose outfit. And, it's okay. Unfortunately, it might be linen. Linen wrinkles. The moment you sit down, there you get wrinkled. This kind of looks like she borrowed a dude's shirt. And perhaps she did. I don't know. But, okay. Sydney Sweeney wearing that dress. Again, looking bored. Why am I here? I don't even know these people. That's why I imagine, I was booked for the Bezos wedding. Why am I here? I don't know. I'm wearing a dress for fashion people, so that's what it seems like. Okay. Here's Tommy Hilfiger. Okay, he's wearing a New York baseball cap, a Yankees cap, but he's wearing the classic white on, I assume that's the navy, the blue. And one assumes he's wearing his own clothing. Is he wearing Tommy Hilfiger? I imagine. Is that a Tommy Hilfiger logo on his shirt? It had better be. Work the brand. You're your own ad. Okay, here's Oprah. I don't always like her fashion choices, but this is very very on target. It's the sort of nautical, kind of a nautical look, sort of like a boat shirt. I like that. I think she looks good in that. I think that must be Gail behind her. It almost always is. Gail wearing the more colorful outfit. Oh, and this is Lauren Sanchez's baby daddy. That's Nico's dad. That's Tony Gonzalez and his new wife. He seems to have a bit of a type. And I think I might like this dress. The print looks like it's nice. It looks like it fits about as well as Lauren's do. Not quite like Ivanka's do. And wow, that's a heck of a tat. And again, tattoos, all I'm thinking when I see this is, ow, how much pain that must have been to get an inner arm tattoo. It's one thing if you're doing the outside, but I would imagine the inside. Oh, goodness, especially up here in the crook of your elbow. Ah, goodness. And that's all. That's not just outlines. That's a lot of black. So, oof, tough guy. But the outfit looks nice, casual. And again, I think her dress would look really pretty if I could see more of it. I wish I could. Okay, so there are more guests. Now worst dressed, and it's generally the same people. Okay, here's Jeff looking cash. Diane von Furstenberg, who offered to host a party for the newlyweds generously in her Venice palazzo. And there she is wearing, I don't know that she's wearing her own designs. That looks like a suit. At first I thought it was just a stripy jacket, but it looks like that's pants too. I think I was willing to go with it if it were just the jacket, but both together, I think that's a little loud for me. Yikes. And that's Kylie and her, what's her baby's name? Her daughter. I didn't realize her kid was that big. I'm going to say no. I'll say thumbs down to the cheetah. Is that cheetah print? 2-piece and the belly outfit on the daughter. Although the daughter's hair looks fantastic. That is a beautiful head of hair on her. Looks great. Mom looks good from the neck up too, but not. This is almost giving me Mrs. Roper vibes. It's not like if anyone remembers Three's Company, and well, it's spin-off The Ropers, old vintage TV Land era TV. Well, more than TV Land, that was reruns too, but 80s TV show. I want to say 80s. Anyway, moving on. There we go. There's DiCaprio hiding his face in shame. I don't know why he's hiding his face. Does he have a black eye? Why do you think Leonardo DiCaprio was so intent on covering his face in every photo? And there he is pulling his hoodie. And, very casual. He looks like a college student on spring break. Probably acts like one, too. There's Bill Gates, all black. And, yeah. He's got the black baseball cap. I can't see if there's a logo on that, though. He looks a little sheepish. Okay, this is kind of mean. Can Kim Kardashian Skims come up with something for man boob? Like a vest that might hold them in a little bit and give a better line to their polos? I feel like that's a thing. I'm giving business advice to billionaires for free. I hope they appreciate it. Here's another. I gave Jeff Bezos a business idea, and now here's another one for Kim Kardashian. Expand Skims into a line of like moob containers for older gentlemen. I think it might help them give the confidence that Skims helps give the ladies. And here's Kendall. Dressed down. It just looks like a very basic, very plain. Okay. Tom Brady, very plain. I like the contrast of it's like warm weather in Italy, and then there's this ad for skiing in the background. Okay, so these are labeled worst dressed. These are not actually some of the worst outfits. That Kim Kardashian one where she looked like she'd been mauled in a dark alley. That was way worse, and that's not in this article. So here are, and this is after the après wedding. There's that picture again, and again, shouldn't the zipper go all the way up? I don't know what happened there. Minor wardrobe malfunction, but who cares? They're so happy. They're in love, as we all should be. Happy and loved. Waving to our adoring fans. Actually, the nicest thing, and the boat looks cool. I don't know why. I think the boat looks cool. There they go. Here she is again, Lauren, having a bit of... I feel like this is sort of an Evita moment, like she should start singing Don't Cry For Me, Venice. And the two thoughts that come to mind, there she is wearing that pink dress, the amazing glass chandelier, and God bless anyone who has to clean that. And ditto for the masonry here. It's so beautiful. And all I can think is, if you power wash that, would the pieces just break off? I wonder how they deal with that. See, these are the silly things that I think. I'm supposed to be admiring her dress or picking on her, I suppose. And I'm just looking at the chandelier and the cement or whatever, marble, cement, whatever this is. That doesn't look like marble. That's just me. Oh, there's Orlando with his dark cap pulled down. He looks very ordinary in this photo. That's funny. Imagine if you just had Orlando Bloom walking next to you looking like a totally normal dude. Because I guess he kind of is. And there's those two again. It's Stormy. That's right. I just remembered her name as I scrolled down and saw it. Stormy. Stormy's hair looks good. And Kylie Kendall. Kylie, Stormy, Kendall, Kylie, Stormy, Kendall, Kendall, Stormy, Kylie. That's Victoria, Leo's girlfriend again. Okay. I guess that's nice. There he is. This is what I mean. I don't know what it is about Orlando getting, I don't know, something a little kind of smarmy coming into his, I don't know. I didn't think of him as so smarmy before. He seems a little smarmy to me now. Not sure why. Oh, and yeah, there you go. This is, the media took pictures of Orlando in the back of this. It was a water taxi, not a land cab. Sorry, I thought it was a cab, a taxi cab on land. It was a water taxi with Jamie Mizrahi, who's a stylist, and they all know one another. She's married. They're not. Please, I don't believe that they're engaging in anything at all. Former stylist for Katy Perry and Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex. Then there's Leo, who has now upgraded to the hoodie and cap, combo, as he's getting the one-handed assist into the water taxi. And there's his girlfriend. Look at the giant boots. That's not, you don't need those. That doesn't look right. Whatever. Okay. The big bag, whatever. Okay. And Tom Brady, we saw him. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oprah, Kris Jenner, and Gayle. Oprah looks, I think the pants are a little baggy, but she looks pretty good, despite the fact that she's hunched over as though she has the worst case of tech neck ever. She would look much better with better posture. I think they must be looking down at something. Kris Jenner, if you could see this outfit, it looks like a really ugly bathrobe. And then there's Gayle wearing her bright outfit, which I guess is fine. I guess that's fine, you know. I like that it matches the lenses of her glasses. And there you go. Oprah's outfit looks nice. Monochromatic again. Good call. And then this weird thing with zebras. Some kind of silky, I guess, I would say silk pajama type outfit. And there's a zebra on her leg. There's a zebra. It's interesting. I'm not sure which I don't like more, the zebra or the stripes. But Oprah's outfit looks nice. Okay, more of the ladies. What do you think they talk about? What do you think Oprah and Gayle and Kris Jenner talk about when they're hanging out? I wonder. Fashion? Do you think they talk about fashion? Okay, more Bill Gates. Okay, here we go. This is Bill Gates' new girlfriend. And tell me if she doesn't look a lot like his ex-wife, Melinda. A lot. Okay. Oh, verdict reached. Okay, I'm interrupting myself. There's a verdict reached on trafficking. This is the Diddy trial. This is live. It is 5:48 p.m. right now as I am speaking, and I am seeing verdict reached on trafficking counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. Jury split on count 1. That was the RICO. I guess that was the biggest one. I'm not really sure what exactly all of those charges were. But if you were wondering, the jury has reached a verdict in the Diddy trial on trafficking. They are just trafficking counts? Oh, okay. I thought there were more than 5 counts because I thought they had a lot of different things that they had accused him of. But verdict on trafficking counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, split on count 1, the RICO charge. So if you wanted to know what was going on with Diddy and the verdict watch, they have partial verdicts. I don't know if they have, I guess they haven't actually announced what those verdicts are. Just that they have reached them. And it is the end of the day, and it looks like everyone's leaving. So whether they are going to come back into the courtroom tomorrow, let's see. The jury has been ordered to keep deliberating. I guess they don't want to have a mistrial or anything like that. So if they can go back and keep discussing that. Here, I'll show you. Let me pull that up. I can go to the Post. Here we go. Trying to pull up the New York Post. Oh, that's archive. No, we don't want the archive. Here, hold on. I will pull it up live. There we go. Jurors reach partial verdict in, oh no, the ad blocker. Oh, enough, New York Post. Enough. Okay, well, anyway, I'll just read it. And yes, we've moved a little on. We will come back to the Bezos wedding in just a minute. But yes, the jury in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs has reached a partial verdict, but they are not going to announce what that verdict is yet. The judge, let's see, 4 of 5 counts, they've reached verdicts. Cannot agree on this says racketeering charge. I'm reading a New York Post article, but it's the RICO charge, the organized crime charge. So they've spent about 12 hours, a little more, I think, deliberating. So counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, they've reached their verdicts. 2 of them are human trafficking for the purposes of, I'll keep it clean, spicy interaction, shall we say? The freak-offs, the parties and whatnot. 2 of those charges, and then the other 2 are charges of transportation to engage in the exchanging of spicy acts for money. And they are split on count 1, which is the RICO charge, because it says here, the quote is, "We have not reached a verdict on count 1 because we have unpersuadable jurors on both sides." That is the jury's note to the judge. So the judge has said, both the prosecutors and the defense have said, we don't want a partial verdict. We want a full verdict. So keep deliberating, and they will come back tomorrow, and I assume bright and early, back to deliberate and see if they can come up with a decision. Probably tomorrow. I assume that they would want to wrap it up. It is the 1st of July now, as I am recording this, and it is Tuesday. On Friday, it is the 4th of July in the United States. That is a national holiday. It would be a court holiday too. I've heard both that they might have a Monday off or they might not. So if they keep deliberating all weekend, if they can't come to a conclusion, they would not want to have to, I assume, go back to their families for a long weekend with no verdict. That would be an odd situation, but to delay it that long. So I'm assuming that they will want to get their decisions all made, all of their verdicts, if they can come to a verdict, an agreement on that RICO charge. They would want to do that before Friday, and obviously 2 full days should be enough time to come to some kind of decision. So there you go. There's your Diddy trial update. The jury has reached verdicts on the trafficking counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. They are split with no decision on count 1, the RICO charge, and the verdicts will not be announced yet. The judge has told the jury to continue deliberating to see if they can come to a decision on count 1, and they will go back tomorrow, Wednesday, July 2nd, to see if they can come to that conclusion. And thus concludes your Diddy verdict watch update. And now back to our regularly scheduled program about the so-called wedding of the century. Excuse me. The wedding of Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. And let's go back. We are wrapping up our coverage a little bit more. Their post-wedding festivities, as you can see, late night bash, Oprah Winfrey tearing up the dance floor, and Usher. Oprah and Gayle were tearing up the dance floor. Famous guests busting moves to Usher and DJ Cassidy. So Usher was a guest and a performer. He was doing double duty. Other big dancers of the night ruling the floor were Kris Jenner and boyfriend Corey Gamble, Tommy Hilfiger and wife Dio Kleppo, and Jerry Seinfeld's wife Jessica Seinfeld. Oh, how much would you love to see video of them dancing? There's Oprah in her pajama party outfit. Actress Sydney Sweeney was dancing all night. The newlyweds were also cutting a rug. A spy tells us that Usher, a personal friend of the power couple, performed a medley of his greatest hits and even got into the crowd. Usher came off stage and was in the middle of everyone. Superstar DJ Cassidy, who also played Jay-Z. There you go! I'm sorry, I'm interrupting myself. That's the photo. There it is, right there. It's not the greatest photo in terms of lighting and composition. However, look at Usher. I trashed his look before, the tux. I love this shot. It's a great action shot. He looks cool in that outfit, sort of a frosted grape color. Everything fits well, but I love the action shot that the photographer got with the blazer kind of flying open. He's got a smile on his face. And I even kind of like, there's a better picture of her dress coming up in a second. His wife's dress with the little cutouts. It's kind of cute. There's like a little bit of a orchid pink lavender color here that kind of matches his. She's got a cute little yellow purse. And honestly, these two ladies look really nice in their outfits. I like that blue and white skirt on this lady. And this lady looks nice in her black. They're not guests, though. They appear just to be tourists. Here, there's Usher again. I don't think this photograph makes that outfit look that great. You can see a little bit more of his wife's dress with the cutouts. But that's a cool photo where he's like, yeah, I look cool. That looks great. Okay, so to make up for my dissing of Usher's tuxedo before, I like that photo, that look. Okay, so superstar DJ Cassidy, who also played Jay-Z and Beyonce's 2008 wedding, opened the night in one room, performing with a full orchestra. He later played again following Usher's performance, with the party raging until 3 a.m. It went late, says the source, who called it an all-nighter. All-nighters don't stop. They don't stop at 3 a.m. They go all, well, night, which includes early morning, all night. It's not an all-nighter if you don't see the sun come up. Come on. Bezos, 61, and Sanchez, 55, also got on stage. The bride and groom went on stage with Cassidy and were dancing, says the spy. Guests including new bro pals Tom Brady and Orlando Bloom. Bromance alert. Leonardo DiCaprio and girlfriend Vittoria Ceretti, Kim Kardashian, Jessica Alba. Oh, Jessica Alba was there. Hey, newly-ish single Jessica Alba. We did not see photos of her. I would have thought that she would have been on display with some nice outfits, because she certainly can wear a dress well. Disappointed that we didn't get to see her. Bill Gates, Brooks Nader, Ivanka Trump, and designer Stacey Bendet were treated to a buffet-style meal of Italian treats like pastas and desserts like cannoli, says the spy. Yes, and how many of the women actually touched any of that food? Guests wore their finest silks, slippers, and pajama-inspired looks, with the spy telling us that the men were much more on theme. Yeah, the men were dressed for comfort. The women were dressed to impress. And there they are, the happy, lovey couple. We're told the decor at the wedding, located in the Arsenale area of the floating city, was Venetian luxe. There were big red velvet banquets and couches and plush pillows, says the spy. The location, which was changed at the last minute to avoid protesters and crashers, was on the water in a position that made it impossible to access. Great planning. I didn't see any paparazzi or press. Oh, to access for if you were like a rando or a press person. I see. I think it was difficult for everyone to access with the water taxis. Noting that they had been circling on boats or standing by in nearby canals at other events. I wonder if anyone was able to actually get a ride around Venice. Can you imagine needing to hail a water taxi, and it's like, sorry, they're all parked over by the Bezos wedding. It's not like you can just walk. So what do you do? Okay, the final dance party was the culmination of 3 days of festivities for Bezos and Sanchez. The Amazon billionaire and the former journalist said "I do" on Friday during a ceremony on San Giorgio Maggiore Island that included performances by Andrea Bocelli's son Matteo Bocelli and pop star Ellie Goulding. During the first night, guests, who also include Diane von Furstenberg and Barry Diller, her husband, gathered for an event at Madonna dell'Orto. And, okay, now we get to, these were, obviously, we've covered the wedding, the fashions, the guests, and now we get on to who was not there, who criticized. The no-shows and the critics. So, why Salma Hayek skipped Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding while billionaire hubby attended solo. And as we saw before, François-Henri Pinault was there at the wedding in Venice, but Salma Hayek was not there. Now, this is massively disappointing. Salma would definitely have looked great in some outfits, and what a great opportunity to promote, her husband's company. But she was not there. Why? Is there trouble in paradise? Well, no, not necessarily. Salma Hayek was rocking out at English Music Fest Glastonbury, while her hubby, billionaire fashion mogul François-Henri Pinault, attended Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding in Venice, Italy. Pinault, 63, of the CEO of luxury giant Kering, was photographed in a dashing tux boarding a water taxi on Friday to attend the nuptials of the Amazon billionaire and the former journalist, along with guests including Kim Kardashian, Oprah Winfrey, Orlando Bloom, Tom Brady, Leonardo DiCaprio, and more. But Hayek, 58, was not by his side. Instead, the Frida star was at the Glastonbury Festival in Somerset, England, hanging with A-listers, including designer Stella McCartney, model Cara Delevingne, comedian Chelsea Handler, and Furiosa star Anya Taylor-Joy. Those are actually a group of people that I would think might have been invited to this wedding, but as we learned from the first article in Vogue that we read at the beginning of this stream, they kept it fairly intimate. It was 200 guests, 70 of whom were family. So there was only room for 130 celebrities. I guess they didn't make the cut. A post on X also showed the group hanging with musicians Alanis Morissette, Mink? I don't know. I'm out of touch. Sorry. And Malcolm McRae behind the scenes. So this is François-Henri Pinault at the wedding. And here in the middle, there's Salma right there next to, well, that's Alanis, that's Anya, that's Chelsea. And I'll let you figure out who the other people are because I don't recognize them. So there they are at Glastonbury in England. And Chelsea Handler took a photo of Salma, looking lovely as always, with Valentina Pinault, Salma's daughter, with François-Henri. And boy, oh boy, Valentina is definitely daddy's girl. Definitely. So I wonder if Salma didn't go because she was chaperoning Valentina, who's, 15? Something like that. Young. So Handler also posted a pic of Hayek and her teenage daughter Valentina with the message, "Mama and a baby." Okay, blah, blah, blah. So they were at Glasto. And there you go. Yes, and then, okay, well, it goes on to talk about, I have to show this photo. What a cool photo. This is an amazing photo. It's not like the best artistically, but it has these incredible artistic elements. So we have Salma, who looks, that silver dress is fantastic. We've got Lauren in the very dramatic red. We've got the red carpet, which goes with the red dress, the, sort of silver mirrors that go with the silver dress. They've got the dark hair and they've got the black walls in the back. And then I think my favorite part is if you look closely in this reflection, you could see what has to be Jeff Bezos and François-Henri Pinault, the husbands, in the background, like in the doorway chatting while the ladies get their picture taken. It looks like an old painting, the reflection in the mirror, the two people. Well, anyway, I think that's a cool photo. And that dress is amazing. So, wait, yeah, when was it? Does it say when Valentina was born? Oh, they married on Valentine's Day, and then they named their daughter Valentina. Or wait, did they have Valentina before they got married? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. Does it say? It doesn't say. Okay, I can't remember off the top of my head. So that lovely picture. And then the article, which we're not continuing to read this, but over here, this other article, why Eva Longoria skipped close friend Lauren Sanchez's extravagant wedding to Jeff Bezos. Well, why did she? Well, because she's filming her own CNN series, Eva Longoria Searching for France. And her husband recently underwent shoulder surgery. So, where was she? She was in Marbella on the beach with her husband, whose arm is in a sling, leading many to wonder whether she and the bride had a falling out. But Page 6 is told there is no tension between Sanchez and Longoria, who has a residence in the Spanish city. And then here's a photograph of Eva Longoria and Lauren Sanchez at some event, looking friendly and happy. And, and there they go. There's Eva
in the lovely pink bikini, and her husband, see, she's smart. They're both smart. They wear hats to keep the sun off their skin. And her husband with the sling. And, okay, well, we don't need to see her in a bikini. That's fine. That's fine. She's fit. It's a cute pink. See, she was wearing pink like all the many of the other ladies who attended the wedding, but she wasn't at the wedding. I don't know. It looks like she wasn't invited. It genuinely looks like she just wasn't invited. It wasn't, oh, well, she's in Spain filming her television show. She's on the beach. She's on the beach. If her husband just got over shoulder surgery, I imagine he can go recover in Venice as well as he can recover on a beach. Now, if he didn't want to go and deal with all of that, I mean, imagine helping a man with his arm in a sling who's recovering from surgery into the water taxi. That could be awkward. But maybe she goes alone? Whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's trouble in paradise. But they say no. She's just filming a show. So, okay. We'll take her word for it. And now, for the party poopers, the people who just can't be happy for anyone on their big day. Who were the haters? Well, we'll start with Olivia Munn. Olivia Munn shades Jeff Bezos and Sanchez with pointed comment after over-the-top $50 million wedding. So here we go. Here's Olivia Munn. And what did she say? She said, and this is Jeff Bezos and his uneven eyes. I don't know what's up with that. He looks odder in this photo this is his first wife, the ex-wife, Mackenzie. I don't know why he has an odd look on his face. He does look a bit happier with Lauren, but whatever. This is nice. There he is again with Mackenzie. So what did Olivia write? Well, we'll see. It was a response to is this tweet or Insta? I don't know. Mia Farrow, actress Mia Farrow. This is, as I mentioned earlier, it's not a backhand compliment. It's like a backhand insult to the Bezoses. Was Mia's comment complimenting Mackenzie Scott, Jeff's first wife. How awesome is Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' first wife, and mother of his 4 children. As of mid-December 2024, she had given a total of $19.3 billion to over 1,600 charitable organizations. And Olivia wrote back, truly incredible. Okay. And there's Mackenzie. All right. Well, that's nice. I mean, I suppose if you have that much money and you give that much money, that's nice. Not sure why we're having to insult the Bezoses by complimenting Mackenzie, but fine. So then they just talk about all these other actresses and stuff who sort of piled on the let's give compliments to Mackenzie Scott. Rosanna Arquette, Sarah Jessica Parker, Katie Holmes, Mandy Moore. Rosanna called Mackenzie Scott a force of humanity and good. And the other ladies liked that post. And yes, then they go on to talk about Charlize Theron. And here, I'll click onto that one. She got her own headline. Charlize Theron, page 6. You don't need the ads. Okay, well, I'll just read it here. So Charlize said they suck. She was giving a speech somewhere, and these were the details in that article that it doesn't want to let me pull up because of the ads. She said that they suck because they spent so much money on their wedding that it was gross, and that they suck, but we, meaning Charlize and whoever she was speaking to, we're cool. They suck and we're cool. Charlize Theron is like 50 years old. I really hope that by the time we're adults, well into adulthood, that we're no longer, I mean, I guess you can say people suck. Sometimes people do suck. That's true. But to go like, we're the cool ones, because we're not them. I would hope we would outgrow that, but it is Hollywood, so maybe not. These are people who have to give themselves awards endlessly. So I suppose in that self-congratulatory mindset and milieu. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I am live streaming and I just had thunder cracking behind me and gave me a little bit of a distraction. Okay, so who else? Oh, I'm sorry. It was Rosie O'Donnell who called it gross and turned her stomach. Yikes. Okay. There's the always happy, never sour Rosie O'Donnell. The Bezos wedding. It turned my stomach seeing all these billionaires gathering in the gross excess of it all. The show of it. Now, come on now, Rosie. You're in what business again? Oh, right. Show business. This is what maybe the most amusing part of all of this. She wrote even more. It turned my stomach seeing all these billionaires gathering. She wrote it like a poem. Gathering in the gross excess of it all. The show of it. Is Oprah friends with Jeff Bezos? Really? How is that possible? Well, they're both incredibly wealthy. For one thing, he treats his employees with disdain. By any metric, he is not a nice man. And his fake fembot wife, who looks like that? Why would he choose her? After the salt of the earth Mackenzie sold his soul, is what it looks like from here. The devil is smiling at all his conquests. Read the rest at Rosie O'Donnell on Substack. Oh, it turns out it's just an ad for her Substack? Rosie used to have her own television show. Heck, Rosie used to be a stand-up comedian, if you can believe that Rosie O'Donnell used to be focused on making people laugh. Well, okay, she made me laugh. This is really amusing. Yeah, I think this is the funniest part of the criticism when, average people are protesting the Bezos wedding, the spending, the over the top theatrics and all of that. I totally get that. I totally understand that. But when people like Rosie, like Olivia Munn, etc., Olivia Munn. Oh no, how dare these people do tacky attention-seeking stunts for publicity. I'd never do that. I'd never say, use my child for publicity by taking a photograph of them, including exposing their face and putting it online. I would never get publicity off of my health issues. My husband would certainly never get publicity off of his personal issues. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. You're all doing the same thing. It's just on what scale? I know that Rosie O'Donnell does not live in a little hut off grid. I know that all of these other people, Mia Farrow is not exactly, living in a trailer on minimum wage. So it amuses me when people who are part of that tippy top, the 1% of the 1%, I guess it's the 1% of the 1%, are sort of screaming at the 0.1% of the 1% of the 1%. I don't know. Multi-millionaires screaming about billionaires seems a little mildly hypocritical. If average people are screaming about billionaires, that makes much more sense to me. I don't know. Now look happy, Rosie. Smile. She tries. Poor Rosie. She has pain. It's a woman in pain. Well, oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, okay. Now that's a little mean too, posting before and after photos. Rosie O'Donnell posting before and after photos of Lauren Sanchez and her facial work. Rosie, you could post a lot of pictures of a lot of people that I'm sure you're friends with that have before and after. Come on now. Wasn't she friends with Madonna? Oh my goodness. Wasn't Rosie O'Donnell very close friends with Madonna? Could we not do a then and now of Madonna? Have you seen Madonna lately? Okay, all right. Hypocrisy. Oh, here we go. Here's Charlize. Charlize Theron also threw shade at the newlyweds during her 5th annual Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project block party over the weekend. Oh, well, aren't we modest, Charlize? I think we might be the only people who did not get an invite to the Bezos wedding. She said, "Oh, is she a little chapped? Is she a little chapped because she didn't get an invite?" But that's okay because they suck and we're cool. Ew. Oh, it's like high school mean girl nonsense. Theron then thanked her audience for taking the time to be a part of this, especially when the world feels like it's burning because it is. Yeah, F them. Well, she said the real word. I'm cleaning it up. Wow, the world is not burning. I mean, parts of it are, but, the world is always, there's always a part of the world that's burning in some literal or metaphorical sense. That never stops. Katie Couric, 68, even called Sanchez's Dolce & Gabbana gown tacky in a scathing social media post. Wow, what a weird, and it is kind of weird that there were they're all ladies. I guess the men don't care. It seems like weird jealousy, like mean girl jealousy or something. That's very odd. These women are all doing very well in life. And some of them are even, possibly, anyway, I don't know that these ladies have that much to be jealous about. Were they hitting on Jeff? Did they want to be the new wife? Not Rosie. She certainly doesn't want to be Jeff Bezos' wife. But very odd. Very odd. They need to calm down, I think. Poor Rosie. There's some pain in there. Charlize, though, I don't know what's up her, got stuck in her craw. Because honestly, the guest list didn't really impress me that much. As I said, they had some heavy hitters. They had like Bill Gates, Francois-Henri Pinault, Barry Diller was there with Diane von Furstenberg. We didn't see a picture of him, but I did see a picture of him, and he looked like all the other guys, the older guys, casually dressed, like the t-shirt and the pants. They go for comfort, and I applaud that. But other than that, I actually kind of was disappointed that there weren't more and bigger stars. But that's just me. Maybe they just picked people they were exceptionally close with and really enjoyed the company of, and that's okay. So, wrapping up this stream, we've been going a little over 2 hours, and just a reminder, this is French Dip Empire. I am the Empress, and go ahead and click that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and we would very greatly appreciate you for doing that, because that helps us with the algorithm and getting to find more people who might be interested in joining us here. So just to wrap it up. Oh, and yes, and if you were wondering, because I did write it in the chat, the Diddy jury is going to have to deliberate for another day. They have reached verdicts on 4 of 5 charges. Those verdicts were not announced today. They are waiting. The judge has sent the jury back. They are deadlocked on the first charge, the RICO charge, and they are going to go back into deliberations tomorrow, that being Wednesday, the 2nd of July, 2025, to see if they can come to a conclusion on that remaining charge, the RICO charge. So that's where we're at with the Diddy verdict watch. They are continuing to deliberate. Hopefully, probably, we will hear what happens tomorrow. I assume they're not going to go another, probably beyond another day. So, in conclusion, we will just go over this last Vogue article from 28 June 2025. This is in summary. If you're joining us late, of course, you can roll back to the beginning where we covered Vogue's coverage of their cover girl, Lauren Sanchez Bezos, and the dress, the guests, the outfits for better or worse, and who was a no-show, and the criticisms. But if you don't want to roll back just yet, here is a good summary of what happened. There's Lauren, there's Jeff, smiles all around. And here we go. Here's the quick summary. Curious about Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. Join the worldwide club since the Amazon founder and former television journalist. That sounds like Jeff Bezos is both the Amazon founder and a former television journalist. Obviously, he is the former, she is the latter. Got engaged in May 2023. Speculation about when, where, and who would be at their nuptials has dominated the tabloid front pages and cocktail conversation from New York to Paris, especially after Sanchez threw a rumored $625,000 bachelorette in the City of Lights, attended by Katy Perry, Kim Kardashian, and more. Oh, well, Katy got to go to the bachelorette party, but chose not to go to the wedding that her ex, Orlando Bloom, did attend. Interesting. As the celebrations reach their pinnacle with a grand wedding ceremony on Friday, June 27, here's everything you need to know about Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. When is Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding? Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding took place on Friday, June 27, with a series of pre-events occurring in the days leading up to it, as well as a post-wedding party on June 28. Where is Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding? The couple are getting married, well, they have gotten married, in Venice, Italy. A spokesperson for the mayor of Venice told the press that the city is prepared to host. Only 200 guests will have been invited, and therefore it will be easy for Venice to accommodate such an event without any disruption whatsoever to the city, its residents, and visitors, he said. Well, I guess that answers my question. You can indeed get a water taxi in Venice during the wedding. Guests for the wedding are being hosted at a number of 5-star hotels across the city, including the Aman Venice, Hotel Cipriani, and the Gritti Palace. And if you saw our previous show, our previous episode about we did a live stream watching the guests arrive, or not arrive, but they were leaving the Gritti Palace, getting into the water taxis, and then going off to one of the events, one of the wedding events. And this is not that, the stripy tent here, but you could see them coming out of the Gritti. And there's Jeff and Lauren in her, I think that was the vintage Alexander McQueen dress. Who designed Lauren Sanchez's wedding dress? Lauren Sanchez wore a long-sleeve lace mermaid line gown by Dolce & Gabbana, complete with 180 silk chiffon-covered buttons. It took 900 hours of atelier work. I feel like a princess, Sanchez told Vogue of her wedding dress. And if you want more details on that, go back to the beginning of the stream where we read the entire article, the Vogue cover article that describe the dress. To a welcome dinner on Thursday, she also wore a Schiaparelli couture gold corset dress with floral embroidery, and while traveling to her ceremony location on the island of San Giorgio Maggiore, she wore a Dior set with a distinctive Hermes headscarf that had a pointed, deeper meaning. Well, let's see. We should be able to find out what that is. What is that deeper meaning? Oh, it says brides on it. Okay. Well, there you go. Oh, she looks like that. That looks lovely. That's a lovely classic outfit. Do we get another shot? Oh, it's a nice long skirt too. Cute. Okay. Okay, there you go. Let's see the gold dress too, quickly. Gold Schiaparelli. Oh, that one. That's not gold. Well, it's not what I think when I think gold dress, but okay. All right, we saw that one with the brocade. Okay, scrolling down. And there's the dress and the team from Dolce & Gabbana. Okay. Who is planning Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding? The top secret affair was planned by Lanza and Baucina, who also organized high-profile Venice weddings for George and Amal Clooney. Oh, they weren't there. They weren't invited, I guess. And Salma Hayek and François-Henri Pinault. Well, isn't that unfortunate that Salma was not able to accompany François-Henri? because to Venice, they could have had a lovely sort of second honeymoon, the remembrance of their own wedding in Venice. I would think that would have been romantic and lovely. Instead, Salma went with their daughter to Glasgow. Odd choice, but okay. Last Sunday, their team shared a statement on behalf of Bezos and Sanchez. Weeks earlier, protests had begun in Venice over their upcoming wedding, which some locals believed would only exacerbate the historic city's problems with over-tourism. From the outset, instructions from our client and our own guiding principles were abundantly clear: the minimizing of any disruption to the city, the respect for its residents and institutions, and the overwhelming employment of locals in the crafting of the events, Lanza and Baucina said. What did Lanza and Baucina's plans for the wedding entail? First, they erected a striped tent outside the entrance of the Amman Venice, that was the gray and white striped tent that we saw, where many of the 200 attendees, including Bezos and Sanchez themselves, are staying. So I wonder who got to stay at the Amman Venice with the bridal couple and who got shunted off to the other places like the Gritti Palace. I thought all the like AA-listers were at the Gritti Palace, but I guess not. Okay, so far, it's allowed them to smoothly exit their water taxis and mostly avoid being captured by the paparazzi. Not quite. They'll also be sharing gifts of Murano glassware. I wondered about that as well. Would they get Venetian glass in their goodie bags? The goodie bags that were mentioned, where they mentioned that the gents would be getting like these lovely slippers, like velvet slippers, and then the ladies would be getting slippers from Amazon, which seemed cheap, but okay. Gifts of Murano glassware by Laguna B as part of the couple, and now that says Lanka, it says Lanza. We'll go with Lanza and Baucina's commitment to using local artisans and vendors during their wedding weekend. Well, good for them. That's a form of giving back. Ooh, that's just Kim. Ugh, it's so often just unpleasant. Don't care for her. She's looking very, what's the, Kanye's new girl. What's her name? That lady that parades around naked. She looks like the naked lady, Kanye's naked girlfriend or wife or whatever she is, in that. Although, of course, Kanye's girl looks like Kim, but vice versa, whatever. Usually Kanye's girl looks like she's trying to look like Kim. Here, Kim looks like she's trying to look like Kanye's chick. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay, who's on the guest list? We already know. Attending the wedding of the year, wedding of the century. Did you not get the memo? I thought everyone did. Multiple members of the Kardashian clan, Kim, Khloe, Kylie, and Kendall, as well as Kris Jenner and her partner Corey Gamble. They were all there, alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and his partner Vittoria Ceretti, or is it Ceretti? They were both there. Sydney Sweeney, yes. Oprah Winfrey, check. Gayle King, check. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, check. Diane von Furstenberg, check. And Barry Diller, her husband, was there too. And Tom Brady. Orlando Bloom is also attending right after his split with Katy Perry. That's right, and she didn't show. What happened on the Thursday night before Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding? Ahead of this weekend's wedding celebrations, guests convened on Thursday night for a welcome dinner at an unspecified location near the Madonna dell'Orto Church in the city's Cannaregio district. Many of the attendees were captured leaving their respective hotels across Venice by paparazzi currently trawling the city on water taxis. And there's Kim again. At this point, I have to say, I guess the snakeskin was maybe the second best dress. This one, I guess the best one might have been that black dress, but okay. I don't like any of them, honestly. Okay, what happened? Are people saying that? Am I completely out of the loop? Is this a typo for what happened, or are people actually saying happed now? Like that's a term. Like what's the haps? Do we say that now? I'm not saying that. What happened on the Saturday night after Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding? On Saturday, the couple held a dolce notte themed party, sweet night. Is that like honeymoon? It's sweet night, where guests wore evening wear interpretations of lingerie and pajamas. Well, it seems like some of them literally wore lingerie, and the men looked like they were wearing pajamas, and that they looked fine. Sanchez Bezos herself chose a rose pink Atelier Versace gown with Swarovski crystals. That doesn't look lingerie inspired. That just looks like a gown. But that was the pink that so many of the guests were wearing that we saw. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian selected a dress by Dilara Findikoglu. Sorry, not familiar. Okay, there's Lauren. Are Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez asking for wedding gifts? Unsurprisingly, given Bezos is the third richest person in the world. Well, what an underachiever. The couple are not expecting their guests to bring them traditional wedding gifts. Instead, in a note shared with Vogue, the couple explained they are making contributions on behalf of every guest in your honor and with gratitude to you for making the journey to celebrate with us in Venice. Did they get to write off their wedding? I assume they get to write off all the contributions, but do you get to write off your wedding when you're a celebrity like this and you get this much publicity for all your businesses and whatnot? Is it a write-off? Is it a write-off for the attendees? Like if I assume many of them, are wearing outfits that were probably lent or gifted to them for the purpose of advertising. Do you get to write that off? Is that an appearance? If you're out in public, it's a public appearance? No? You get to write off the outfits, I would imagine. It's not just a personal event, is it? When you're a celebrity? I'd love to know how that works. I can't imagine Leo would be writing anything off. He looked totally casual. Okay, so continuing. Donations on your behalf are being made to the UNESCO Venice office to safeguard the city's irreplaceable cultural heritage, to Corilla to restore the vital lagoon habitats that protect Venice's future. Do you remember during lockdown? I don't want to say what one because YouTube can be sensitive about that, but several years ago, when everything was locked down, there was such little boat traffic. Do you recall there was a video of dolphins in the Venice canals, that the dolphins had actually come up? That's amazing. If I were getting married in Venice as Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, I would have seen if I could have paid them to stop the water traffic so we could have some dolphins. I would rather have dolphins than celebrities at my wedding, but that's just me. I guess you could have both. A billionaire can have whatever they want. They can have both. Okay, continuing the article. And to Venice International University to support research and education for sustainable solutions. Bezos and Sanchez wrote, "This magical place has gifted us unforgettable memories. Our hope is that through these efforts, and by you joining us, Venice will continue to inspire wonder for generations to come." Good Morning America published the invitation, which included illustrations of butterflies, pigeons, and gondola rides. Pigeons? Well, to be fair, pigeons, when the light hits them and their feathers kind of have that iridescent sheen to them, they can look kind of lovely, but pigeons. Maybe go with the dolphins. How did Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez get engaged? Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez got engaged in May 2023 aboard their Kourou, that's a yacht. Bezos hid the ring under her pillow, which she found just as she went to bed. "When he opened the box, I think I blacked out a bit," she told Vogue. In November 2023, the couple threw an engagement party at their friends Barry Diller and Diane von Furstenberg's home in Beverly Hills, where attendees included Oprah Winfrey, Salma Hayek Pinault, Barbara Streisand. We didn't see her at the wedding. I'm disappointed. We could have seen her and James Brolin in their finery. Kris Jenner, Sarah Stodinger, Robert Pattinson, Suki Waterhouse, they weren't there. Miranda Kerr, didn't see her, and more. Well, I'm disappointed. We could have had some more celebrity guests. That would have been exciting. Well, anyway, it was quite the event. The wedding of the century, according to their PR release. I mean, the media. Now the question is, can someone top this? Can we get an even better wedding of the century? We need another. We need another one. Who will provide us with the next wedding of the century? Will it be a royal wedding? Maybe an heir to the throne. Some of them are coming up, getting, old enough that might be a possibility. How about another billionaire? Bill Gates is single. He could get married again to the lady he took to the wedding, the lady who looked like Melinda, his first wife, his ex-wife. Who else? Orlando Bloom is single. Tom Brady is single. Hey, if they married one another, that could be a wedding of the century. That would be crazy. But anyway, I'm just being silly here. Anyway, we've gone on for over 2.5 hours now. So I am going to wrap up this stream. If you are still with us, I thank you for joining us. If you were here live and if you are catching it on the replay, do me a favor and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment. Every little bit helps with the YouTube algorithm. This is French Dip Empire. I am the Empress, and I hope to catch you next time. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.